I'm sorry about that, y'all. I don't know what happened, but my camera shut down. So here's part 2. Tennessee has flatlands on the west going to the Mississippi River. It's got a depression in the middle of the state, and on each side of that there's ridges, you know, high spots, and then you go up into the mountains of East Tennessee. Now on my drive today, I went up one of those ridges and then came down into this area where I live in. On that drive, I went from heavy woodlands to pasture to meadows, and the variation of flora that was growing was drastic. There were groves and groves and groves of walnut trees up on the ridge. That's where I get my sassafras leaves from as well. There's hickory nut trees up there. That's where I found my blue lettuce and my purple lettuce. So, and then when I get down to the meadows and the flatlands, then I've got the goldenrod and the ironweed, and where I took the picture of the kudzu, and then we have several rivers that go through this area. Now at the rivers, that's where I found those 2 different mimosa species. So there's even wetlands. So there's such a wide variety here in Middle Tennessee. A lot of herbalists will relocate to this area. So in thinking about that, and then in thinking about the climate and the geography as it changes in the northeast of America, in the Midwest, and then on the western side, and then when I've never been out, I've hardly been out of my own state, but I've never been out of the country. Y'all, I'm just simple, and I just stay where I'm put. I'd love to someday, but I don't imagine I'll ever get to. It's quite expensive to travel, and I just don't live like that. But you know, I'm well versed and well read, and God bless YouTube. So I see the other places across the world, you know, the kinds of evergreens they have, or the kind of pasture flowers that they have, kind of wet, damp loving plants that they have. So where you are, I want you to look to what is native to your area. All it takes is a Google search, or let's use a search engine. I've been going more to DuckDuckGo for my search engine, because Google was excluding searches on the wild lettuce. And I didn't find that out until I went to DuckDuckGo. Brought up all kinds of stuff that Google had not. So, go into a search engine and type in your region, and say medicinal plant for diabetes, and then or here's one, herbal remedies, diabetes, Tennessee. Type that in, and it'll bring up things, and any combination of those words where you're getting herbal remedy, a disease, and then a location, these search engines will bring that up for you. So do that and find out what's right there on your doorstep. You know, I've shown y'all my yard. Truthfully, except for pain relief, every single thing that I need help with is in my backyard. I have brought in the mullein, and I've brought in the wild lettuce. And my brother gave me wild native basil that is just wonderful, and the plant is thriving, and I can't wait to see how big and how wonderful that goes. And then a wonderful person, one of my subscribers, sent me some comfrey. So now I have added those to it, but those are also all of those plants that I added are still native plants. They are here. I just brought them into my yard. So I want you to look for those things. And I want you to study those things that you have need of. I don't have any elderberry in my yard, but I've got 2 or 3 good picking spots. But you know what? I actually don't need the elderberry. The usnea that I can gather off the family farm and down at the river is an adaptogen. It is an immune booster. So I really don't even need the elderberry. So I don't have it in the house. I did dry some of those blossoms in the spring, and I've got a small jar of the blossoms dried up. But frankly, I use that to put in hot tea because it makes it smell good. It makes it smell like flowers, and that's nice and calming and relaxing. So as I covered a couple of these topics, you know, as it gets milder weather again, I will be able to go out more. And I am trying, y'all. I really am. But sometimes it is overwhelming to some days at work and then come home. And you know, back in the old days, and actually this was my youth, but I am mature. You know, you had a family structure where the man was the breadwinner and the woman was the domestic goddess, and the two together were a balanced and equal wholeness. It was a wholeness. And the two of them together could profit and build a family and build a legacy. And then what happened was crazy people got into our school systems and our government and destroyed the family unit and made people think they don't need each other. Men don't really need women, and women don't really need men, and we can all do for ourselves. Well, the truth is, no, we do need each other. We're complementary. We're compatible and we're complementary. And I'm kind of touching on this because I have a friend that's going through a bad marital situation, and it's partly because he wants a traditional family and she doesn't. And I pray for people like that. And so and again, this is just our talk on Friday nights, so I just wanted to touch on that. But it is hard. I was not raised to be a breadwinner. I was not raised to be a head of household. I was not raised to understand car engines, how to repair them myself, how to even know that they were making a noise that wasn't right, plumbing repairs, electrical repairs, things like that. I've had to struggle with, and I've learned, but those are not my inclination, and I do not enjoy them. I was made to cook, and I'm talking about me personally. I was made to cook and to sew and to have a garden, and I wish I could have some baby goats and some chickens and maybe some little, I found out about coony pigs, y'all. You should Google that. Okay, anyway, but I was trained, and my natural inclinations as a nurturer and a protector and a guide and a teacher, a domestic goddess. That's what my natural inclinations are. That's when I'm happy, when I'm sewing, and when I'm cooking, and when I'm cleaning, when my house is in order. But being a breadwinner and going out and, you know, just the interaction with people, and traffic. Y'all should hear my mouth, y'all. Oh my Lord. Y'all already know I'm kind of spicy. But today, they were paving the roads. Traffic was a mile long, and it was hot as the surface of the sun. and where I was going up the ridge, and I couldn't get any radio reception, so I couldn't listen to any music or my talk radio like I do in the afternoons. And but then I calmed down. I went, hey, let's go off on a side road and just look at plants. So those videos I uploaded to this evening, those were just impromptu. It was just to save my soul and my sanity. And it did. So I'm going to start winding this up, and y'all know on our Friday night talks, they go on for a long time. I have the county fair across the road from me right now. Tonight's not too bad. I was expecting it to be way worse. Tomorrow will be a nightmare. So I might even be doing another talk tomorrow night while I'm trapped in my house because I can't drive down my own flipping street. So like I said, I just wanted to bring these things up to you. I know there's a lot of people who do not care. They hate the sound of my voice. They hate the way I talk, and all my little how I just go off on a tangent. They hate it, and they let me know. My goodness. My thing is, if I start watching a YouTube video and it gets on my nerves, guess what I do? I change the video. I don't even leave a comment. I just go, hey, this one's not for me, and I click on something else. Can you imagine somebody not knowing how to do that? Somebody going ahead and watching the whole dang video just so they can leave ugly messages and send you a nasty email. Well, that's happening. So I hope those poor people didn't have to listen to all that time of me talking about these little things. But I know that there are some of you that are my friends and my companions. You comment regularly. I interact with you regularly. I email quite a few of you regularly. Some of you have come over to my Facebook page, and now we're Facebook friends, and y'all can see my work stuff and my friends and my family and see what kind of life I have. So I just want to wind it up and say again, y'all keep me going. It's just been hard lately. But y'all keep me going. And God bless you for that. So, until my next video, no telling when it'll be or what it'll be over. I might take y'all over to the fair. But until then, prayers with y'all. And God bless you all. And good night.